This increased referrals 600%. So we're going to start a little differently here. I'm going to start this one off because frankly, Matthew would not be able to introduce this very well because he would be all aw shucks and all that other stuff. He still might be because we're going to highlight something Matthew created. So there's this idea called a stick letter. And it's a concept of, it's something you give a customer after they've done a transaction with you that makes them, more loyal, more likely to give referrals, things along that lines. And we had a customer come to us. It was one that Matthew and I were working on together, a roofer, and he basically was going, hey, I want to give away $100 gift certificate or something, to people to get referrals. He was like, I want to get more referrals. Yeah. I want to do referral reward. And we said, don't do that. Do something different because it's not emotional. It's a bribe. Forget all of that and leave it with us.
Nothing pisses off a client more than you saying, don't do that, but we don't have what you need yet.
But we don't have, right. So while Matthew and I were going through ideations on this and going like, well, what can we do? Matthew, what happened?
Well, I went away with my oldest son played travel baseball when he was in his 16, 17, late teenage years, trying to get himself into a college in the U.S. Anyway, we were on a ball trip. And when I got back, there was a chocolate bar sitting on my desk at the office. It was called the Best Kind chocolate bar. And just for reference, this was a client that was in Ontario, Canada, but he was a transplant. The guy who owned the business was from Newfoundland, Canada, and Newfoundlanders have a very specific accent, a very strong accent. They have a lot of colloquialisms that we don't have in Ontario or anywhere else in the planet, and they say things weird. And so Dominic would always say to me things like this. I'd say, hey Dominic, how's it going today? He'd say, oh, I'm the best coin, buddy, the best coined. That's how he answered me. I was like, that's the coolest, man. And because I would tease him and make fun of that, he left the Best Kind chocolate bar on my desk. I saw the chocolate bar and I instantly remembered a story he told me about his mom passing away, and that he just had this affinity towards his mom, and his mom was this amazing cook and blah, blah, blah. And so I said, I've got an idea. So I ran it by you, Steve. I said, I think I want to give away chocolate bars at the end. And now this is a metal roofing company. They did like $30,000, $40,000 metal roofs. And I want to give a silly old chocolate bar as a thank you for doing business with them. And you were like, yeah, what's the story? You didn't care what the thing was. You were like, what's the story? And I said, I got the story. I know what the story is. His mom used to do this baking thing. And now we don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. Sometimes we made up the ingredients, but his mom used to bake cookies for him and his cousins on every Sunday after church.
After church, yeah.
After church. So, man, I did a lot of running around for this client. I went, I designed a package for him that housed his warranty card. I'm going to show you that here. This is the warranty card that it went out with his name and picture on it. And I wrote a letter.
It's a pretty long letter.
It's a long letter.
But here's what it does. It basically tells the story of Dominic being a child in church, going home after church with his cousins, playing with his cousins, and his mom causing havoc, and his mom making these cookies. Here's the part that we want you to understand about this. Here's emotionally how this landed with people. Matthew, when this was given to customers, how did they react?
So we made up one rule for the delivery of these things. It was his daughter used to work for the company. Dominic's daughter worked for the company. She delivered the chocolates. She would knock on the door. The person would answer the door. She would hand the box to the client, and her job was just to say one thing. My dad asked me to give these to you, and then say not one more word, and stare at them. Just wait for the reaction. That was it. And a couple of things happened. One was that they would just take the box and go in. I mean, we don't win them all. And so she just turned around and walk away. That was the end of the interaction. But that was about 10-15% of the time, what we found out.
Yeah, it was rare.
It was very rare. What ended up happening most was either there would be this really long interaction at the door because they would open up the box, they would see the letter, and then they would read it before. I mean, the only thing I didn't show you is that the inside of the box, I mean, it was nice. I mean, we did some work. There's 2 chocolate bars in there. They have all these flavors in them. And they never got to that until probably 5-10 minutes in, because all of a sudden that they would read the story right in front of her and say, is that a real story? Like, your dad's just, he's such a nice guy. Like, man, the whole family would get together all the time. It's a different lifestyle for them, but everybody knows what it's like to be with family on eating a family dinner.
Shared experience.
Exactly. And now I said, my father asked me to give this to you. It talks about aunts and uncles and grandparents in the letter. This whole thing is just brought them into the Dominic Power family. So the best story that I was ever told, the best reaction I ever got, was they were invited in. The daughter got invited in. She sat there and had tea and like I said, if they invite you in, go in. Like if you feel safe, and I mean obviously all that. Yeah. Allow that interaction to happen, because what that does is that allows this story and the entire interaction that they've now had with the company and with your dad to now just stick. I mean, we called this story this podcast, this YouTube channel, Sticky Sales Stories for a reason. And you're the one that reminded me, like, Matt, we call it Sticky Sales Stories. We haven't done stick letters. Like, how have we not done stick letters? And the bond happened. Well, typically most roofing companies are going to get about a 5 to a 6% referral rate
if they've done a good job.
If they've done a good job, right?
Yeah.
Even with a referral program, here's $100, here's $200, refer your friend, blah blah blah.
And a lot of times they're like $500, and this thing costs like $30 with the box and everything. Yeah.
$20 with 2 chocolate bars and all of the work, right? Like, it was nothing. Yeah.
And how much did what did the referral rate go to?
32%.
32%.
Yeah. Now, they didn't close every other deal, but they were referred 32% of the time.
But this increased referrals 600%.
600%. He said, we didn't bribe anybody. I said, you didn't have to. And they don't. Oh, and there was no asking for referrals. Like that. There's no.
Right. They didn't even ask. They just happened.
None.
It just happened.
They were like, oh man, you got to check out these guys. That's what they do.
Now, the sad thing is things were great for Dominic. If you went to look up Power Metal Roofing is not around any longer because Dominic's had illness in the family, returned back to Newfoundland, a couple of things along that lines. And the business wasn't sort of at that self-sustaining level yet. It was pretty small when we started with him. So that's right. That's unfortunate, because I do miss Dominic. He was always
a character,
good guy and a lot of fun. But the point is, it's not the chocolate bars. It's the story. It's the vulnerability. It's the shared experience of people going, oh my God, I just love you guys. We're now kindred spirits.
Exactly.
And Dominic wasn't even there for it. It was his daughter. Anybody could have given that. And the only question that would have come that had to be ready to answer is this a true story? Yes.
Yes, it is.
And I'll tell you, when people realize it's a real story, it's amazing the impact that it has. Yeah. Like we have a billboard campaign going on for a plumber. Again, one you and I are working on. That's just hilarious. It's just outrageous and crazy. And we get people phoning in asking, are those actors or are those actually your plumbers? And we're like, oh no, those are those dudes work for us. They're like, oh my God, that's incredible.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's so weird. But that authenticity is what brings all this together, right? It's authentic, it's emotional, and you don't have to beg for business. Just be awesome.
Just be awesome. And let people emotionally bond with you with a little bit of vulnerability and story.
Exactly.
And the crazy thing is, it had nothing to do with roofing.
Nothing.
Zero.
It's about family. Steve, thanks for putting me on the spot and embarrassing me for an episode.
Such a good. It was such a good piece. Right.
Yeah.
Like just an amazing piece. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and it worked out really well. I hope you guys like this one, a little bit of what we do and how we like to look at the world of marketing. Thank you for forcing me into this uncomfortable situation. And we'll be back next week with hopefully another video.